Now I'm talking about some dairy startups, commercial dairy farmers. Those we can call them the entrepreneurs. We have collected information from 50 entrepreneurs, dairy entrepreneurs, covering 8 states, 8 or 9 states: Haryana, Punjab, Uttar Pradesh, Rajasthan, Andhra Pradesh, Delhi, Uttarakhand, Jharkhand, and Gujarat. The overall the scenario is mostly 48% having these dairy farms between the 3 to 10 year old, and 16 are less than 3 year old, and around 36% more than 10 year olds. Average size herd is 85, and average milk production is liter per day per farm is 450 liters per day per farm, and milk production in per lactation is of the animal is 4,200 liter per animal. One thing to be noted, uh, the animals having less than 3,000 liter production per lactation is not economically viable. If we are thinking for the commercial dairy farming or entrepreneurship in dairy farming, then we have to select the animals having the production more than 3,000 liters per day. Some informations about the purchase of animal, because and once we are planning to have a dairy enterprise, then we have to purchase the animals. From where we should purchase the animals, uh, some reference we can get from our friends, relatives, even already established dairy farms, and also from R&D organizations. Even state government have some data related to the breeds. We can take the help of government organization as well as the private organizations. There are pasu melas also, and even one site Ministry of Agriculture, now the Ministry of Animal Husbandry, pashu e-pashu. You can log in this e-pashu, and you can find out the buyers and sellers. And then coming to the awareness about your productivity and health parameters, because we have to have some information about the productivity and health animals from the good sources. Sometimes informations are not very correct, and middlemen and agent do cheat you. But to avoid that, we first we have to ensure whether these information are correct or not. So you may have a visit to the animals 2 or 3 times. You can see the production, or you can see the productivity per day production of the animals and the health parameters, and then decide to purchase the animal. Then this is about the dairy farmers. What is the composition of dairy farmers among the small, medium, and large category of the farmers? Here we are talking. Why I am talking about this? Because if we know about the scenario, what is existing practices being followed by the dairy entrepreneurs, what sort of animals they are rearing right now. Some are rearing the crossbred and buffalo, some are rearing the indigenous plus buffalo, some are only indigenous cattle, some are buffalo only. It is up to you which one suits best to you, and depending upon your resources like capitals and green fodder, dry fodder availability, water availability, housing, space, etc. You can decide at your own, but from our study, it comes out that 46% having the crossbred animals, and only 18% are having the buffalo. Then 14% having indigenous, 18% of the dairy entrepreneurs having crossbred cattle plus buffalo, and very few have indigenous cattle plus buffalo. Means the crossbreed is dominating uh, till date, followed by your buffalo, and then mixed crossbreed plus buffalo. Milk production of these commercial farming, unless we have some idea about the production and productivity, probably we could not get success in the business. If how this production and productivity varies with the category, we should also have some sort of understanding about it. Because if we want to scale up our business, then we should have a clear picture in mind how we should proceed, whether it is beneficial or not. Here we look on the productivity, that is overall productivity is 15.4 liter per day per animal, and that is more than double the productivity of even high yielding states like Punjab, Haryana, Uttar Pradesh, Gujarat, Andhra Pradesh. This productivity varies. Small farmers have the productivity, higher productivity, and followed by the large farmers. And this productivity of medium farmer is less here because medium farm have more number of indigenous cattle. The indigenous cattle has less productivity than buffalo and crossbred, no doubt, but it does not mean the profitability is less for indigenous cow. Yes, profitability is equally good and sometimes better if you can attract the customers, those who are willing to take the A2 milk or the milk of indigenous cow. Then coming to the cost of milk production, it is very important if we want to start any program or this enterprise, dairy enterprise, then we should know what is the average cost of production for crossbred, indigenous as well as for buffalo. Here we have calculated rupees 21 for crossbred, and it varies from animal to animals and also across the category. And the highest cost of milk productions around 33 to 34 rupees in case of indigenous, because the productivity of indigenous cattle is less. So that's why the cost per liter is higher in case of the indigenous. So overall, if we talk about that, comes around 25 rupees per liter cost of production. Means if we are able to sell our milk more than that, more above the 30 rupees, because some marketing cost is involved, some other costs, miscellaneous cost is also involved. So at least if you are producing a good quality of milk, that should be marketed uh, uh, after including your family labor or your cost of marketing and plus the cost of production. The price realized by the different type of entrepreneurs across the various channels, because we know there are different routes through which we can sell our milk. Here we found both the coexistence of the cooperative sectors, that we call it a organized sector, private sector is also under organized sectors, corporate sectors like hotels, etc. And also there is informal sectors like direct sale to the consumer household, so middlemen, through the you can say also halwais, creameries, etc. Here if we look, there is a higher price realization is to those who are selling directly to the consumer, around 41.76 rupees. And if you look at, there is a huge difference between the prices paid by the cooperative and sector and by the consumer directly. So here one inferences can be drawn. If we can uh, we can establish a direct contact with the customer. Those who like to pay for quality produce, then it is always beneficial to the entrepreneur. But it depends upon your marketing skill, how you attract them. Here we are talking about some mapping of value chain, how we can map the value chain. Why I'm talking about? Because always we could not contact to the customers. 100% of the produce could not be routed through one channel. That is first channel, consumer. We have different other channels as well that are existing: cooperatives, private sectors, processing plant, and then aggregators also there. Here the cost of production also varies with the channels. We can see here around 50% of the total produce in this case goes directly to the consumer, and around 14% to the processing plants, 4% to the cooperatives, and 10% to the private mill, and 5% to the hotels, suites, and then aggregators vendor 17.4%. These are some of the routes. Here the cost of production is higher in case where we are targeting the consumer. I'm not talking about the cost of marketing, I'm here talking about the cost of production. Why it is so? It is important to understand because others, it may be the vendors, it may be the cooperative or private business, they are not tracking back what you are feeding to your animals. But the consumer, those who are paying higher prices for quality, they are tracking back. They are willing to know what ingredients the farmers are feeding to their animals. Only and only then they are paying higher prices of the milk. Means if you are we are producing the quality milk, and then we are definitely getting the higher prices in the market. For that, we have to contact to the direct consumer. We have to establish our image and trust among the consumers. Then level of food safety practices. Here we select some food safety practices. It is again very important to understand for a budding entrepreneur. Unless because this is milk that deteriorate very soon, perishable commodity, and moreover, there are chances for adulterations, or not adulteration per se, but chances for let's say microbial and contamination. If we are not following the proper protocols, hygienic practices, we have selected 47 practices and we score them how they are performing on various aspects like milking hygiene, handling hygiene, then animal health care and management practices. Overall score was good because these are some dairy startups and commercial dairy farmers. 73% of the these dairy startups are following the scientific practices, but still there is a scope for 27%. They can further improve their practices because this safety index is positively related with your profit. With the help of some econometric tools, we try to see which channel is more efficient. Here we took this base in the consumer. We see whether if we are targeting to the consumer directly, or if we are taking another route like middleman and your informal sector as well as the formal sector, what will be the scenario? The choice of the chain is not dependent on one, you can say producer only, but it also depends on the buyers. So how that the education and other socio-economic factors like cost and then household size, whether they are trained in the dairying or not, and other factors, and even the food safety index, they are influencing the channels. Which channels they would like to be associated. Like take the example of the age. Age has a negative relationship with the informal sectors, means like vendors, middlemen, and small scale processor, and also with the cooperative, means higher educated people. they are willing to be associated with the consumer data. They have developed their softwares, and they are taking the demand. Those who are in metros, they are taking the demand of the customer directly and providing them the required quantity of milk and milk product at their doorstep without losing the quality. They are maintaining the cool chain starting from production till it reaches to the consumer. Then training. Those who have taken the training on various aspects of commercial dairy farming, then your safety, how we can produce the clean milk, production techniques, then processing techniques that that are more likely to be associated with your formal sectors. The training has positive relationship with the cooperatives. Or in another way, we can say that cooperative or private processing plants are willing to be associated with the trained farmers. Then high producing state, we have taken here one variable, and that comes under significant for your cooperatives, means formal sectors, because formal sectors are well established in the high producing areas. Locality, we have taken this, whether you are in a village, that has a positive association with the cooperatives. Means now cooperative sector is penetrating deeper and deeper in the villages areas. There is a greater possibilities and prospects of dairy farming in the village. So we can say it like that. Then coming to, we have taken one caste, that SC, ST, whether SC, ST or OBC have in any kind of effect with the association with any of the chain. Here we found no association, significant association, indicating that they are equally good in terms of the selection of the channels. They can also choose the direct to the consumer, may also go through the vendors, informal sectors or formal sectors. Caste does not play any significant role in case of the choice of the value chain. Then coming to this, the second equation, that is a profit equation, multiple treatment effect we have seen. We have taken here this consumer as a base category, and then if they are selling to the private vendors, means informal sectors, we have taken 1, otherwise 0. And in next line, if they are selling to the private and cooperatives, then 1, otherwise 0. Here there is a negative relationship with the profit, which we can infer like that. If we are directly associated with the consumer, we are more profitable. If we are going away from direct consumer, means we are selecting other channels, it may be an informal channel or formal sector, we are losing something. Then coming to training. Training has a very positive and significant association with profit. As earlier mentioned, why training has a positive and significant impact? Because during training we sharpen our skill in terms of understanding the breed, then feeding practices, other management practices, and healthcare practices. This is one aspect. Another aspect is we are also able to understand the market dynamics, how market is behaving. During the training program, there are lectures on marketing also. Then we understand the concept of marketing and better to have try to capture the consumer in the market. So training has a significant positive and significant relationship with the profit, and likewise safety score. Higher is the safety score, higher is the adoption of the good safety practices, then profit will increase. These our results are unbiased. Other alpha and others are significant, indicating that our results are unbiased.